Namaste and welcome. This is Shantal from She Achieves Studio, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and live on Instagram. It's called a hat trick in Canada, don't you know? Welcome to Wednesday night Cardpull. I'm so honored to be here this evening. And this has been quite the day of energy floating around everywhere. And I love to start this sacred space with actually calling upon sacred space to bring us a higher connection to the higher frequency that we are going to be involved in the weekend, if not weekend, in the Wednesday card pull. So we start with changing the vibration, changing the frequency, leveling up the frequency with the rattle. You can use a drum. You can use whatever you like with the intention of bringing in and clearing in sacred space. Now, whether or not you're watching this live or the recording, Sat Nam, peace in and peace out everywhere. We're just clearing some frequencies that really no longer serve us. And really, that can change from moment to moment. So if we go through this lifetime feeling that the energy that we're actually taught at a young age is our true energetic self, our soul self, well, sometimes we can be misguided. Maybe we need those energies to be taught something. And then once that teaching has been embodied, maybe we can let that teaching go to rest and move up the ladder of the frequencies. So I encourage you, I invite you to become curious about what energies that you're not only holding on to, but that you're surrounding yourself with that truly do not resonate with your true highest self and whatever that means to you. Okay. So check in, people, pay attention, because the universe is going to keep showing up until you pay attention. So if you ever feel like the universe is doing this and you're like, ow, quit it. My mom used to call this a pish knock. It would be like, ow, quit it. Ow, quit it. And you go through your life and all of these ow, quit it's are happening and they still keep happening. Check in. Check in with the frequency that you're holding. Check in with the frequency that you're surrounding yourself with. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, and it still resonates, then contact me. This is the vibe that I'm on. This is the frequency that I live, I teach, I preach. My family knows it. All of my friends know it. The lovelies that come into the studio know it. I cannot help myself but to share this frequency with this higher consciousness to others in the world. So there you go. That is the invitation. So let's call in some sacred space with some Palo Santo that a very dear friend of mine brought back from Peru. And we are entering the elements. We're invoking the elements of earth, water, fire, and air, and even ether into our space this evening. And this is our beautiful Palo Santo that is clearing on the frequency of fire, earth, air, and even water that no longer serves us. So even if the mind is having a challenge at understanding what the hell I'm talking about, that's okay, because the aroma of the Palo Santo and the white buffalo sage, even if you can't physically take in the aroma, it is there. It is there for you. It is holding space for you. And we ask that the spirit of the south, the west, the north, the east, from Mother Earth to Father Sky, as above, as below, in between, and all around, join us into this journey this evening of Wednesday night card pull. And we have two decks to play with this evening, the Yogic Path and the Mystical Shamans Oracle. And if things get really crazy and we have a little bit of a potty, then we have the Akashic Tarot as well. So we shall see how the evening progresses. And thank you for joining me. Please feel free to leave comments, ask questions, anything that you're curious about. The door is open right now. So let's walk through it together, shall we? And we finish calling upon the shamans, the Akashics, the Reikis, the Thais, the Kundalini lineage, the sutras, the tattvas, the Vedas. We call upon not only the animals, we call upon the directions, the ancient elders, the gurus and their gurus, the teachers, the cousins, the brothers, the sisters, the mothers, the fathers. We call upon the archangels and the angels to help support us and guide us into this peaceful space of universal guidance. Woo! My favorite. It's my favorite. Universal guidance is my favorite. All right, let's just get started, shall we? I'm so excited. Let's see. Oh, a jumping card. Okay. Oh, yeah. There we go. Hang on a sec. Just wait. These cards are completely mixed up. Nope, only a couple of them. Okay, so we're going to leave that one out as I shuffle. And that is booty. Lovely. Okay, so that's our beginning. That's actually going to guide us into the rest of the evening. So I'm going to go right into it and read you a little story because I love storytelling and I love reading stories. Love reading stories, especially in yoga classes, in restorative or in shavasana. I love reading stories because it's soothing. And when you are read a story, it's actually Shari, Satnam. Peace, sister. Hello. Namaste, Shari. Nice to see you, love, through the virtual etheric airwaves, of course. So when we're being guided and receiving, it really takes a lot of pressure off of the mind, off of the nervous system. And in a sense, it opens our heart a little bit more when we're able to receive. That's what I love about not only teaching yoga, teaching teachers how to teach yoga for themselves or for others, or even Thai yoga massage, helping people surrender and receive in safe space. I feel that that's so powerful to find the peace within. So let me read you a story about booty, and I'm going to say that that's going to be, I don't know. Oh, yoga. It's going to be under yoga. I know it. Shunk, shunk, shunk. Oh, no, it's not under. Is it under? Where is it? Oh, spirituality, right. I always forget that category in here. Okay, booty. All right, so booty is going to be, and it's reversed. And we know in cards that a reverse card is not necessarily bad or negative because in the space at She Achieves Studio, we are at a higher frequency. We are at a higher frequency than good or bad, right or wrong. And the polarities, the dualities, they're actually in union with one another. So in essence, Shakti has risen to see to hook up with Shiva, and they're in union together, and then they both come back down into the human body so we can actually experience that enlightenment. Okay. So booty, inner wisdom, intellect. It's that inner knowing. I guess you could call it a bit of intuition. It's through the navel point as well, that inner gut feeling. And it's that knowledge that we are more than what we see. It is almost like you're able to see more clearly with your eyes closed. In reverse, okay, you've done a good job at listening to your parents, teachers, friends, acquaintances, and society. However, you are still left clueless to the deeper questions. Why are you here on this planet? This is interesting. Now it's time to go deeper. Let go of being the perfect child, student, friend, employee, citizen. Question what you have been taught. Ask if it is truly serving you. And wasn't that just the invitation before we started pulling the cards is, if you're getting this pishnok from the universe, it's like, out, quit it, and it keeps showing up. And the same things keep happening, the same experiences keep happening. Well, that's that electromagnetic field, okay? That's part of the 10 like light bodies that we have, that we all have, whether or not we're accessing them or not in this lifetime. So take that as sort of a nudge from the universe to check in with the inner self, the inner wisdom, because you truly have all the answers that you need. Okay. Be ready to experience the shattering of the universe that happens when you wake up. It's in those pieces that you put your truest life back together. Your Buddhi wisdom will guide you. So, this is very interesting because I'm in a year-long program. It's a council, and it's where I received the Akashic training and Kundalini training. And what really motivated me to create GUNA Yoga School, which is now a registered school with Yoga Alliance, which is pretty cool. But I did a card pull. I facilitated a card pull just like an hour ago. And the card was actually Buddha that was pulled, yet I read booty and it came in reversed as well. So wait till I tell the council medicine women about this, because that'll be very interesting. So I guess that's our lead in for the other cards is how can we ask this? What can we, okay, how can we tap into? Oh, Kristen, Satnam, thank you for joining as well. Thank you, Kristen. I always seem to be able to tune in exactly at the time I need it. Absolutely, absolutely lovely. It's divine synchronicity. And can you, the invitation is there to bring in a sense of gratitude and thankfulness as well to that. So that is like, acknowledge it, because that's very powerful to you. And I feel that you'll really be able to magnify the teaching of that tenfold if you're able to consciously attune to that you tune in just at the right time. Okay, so thank you, Satnam. I love it. Okay, so let's go back to the question to help guide us with a few more cards. So how can we, I feel sustainability is a big part of this conversation this evening. And how can we tune in and become more sustainable into our inner wisdom? So even, let's say, Kristen, for you, the inner wisdom that it's like, okay, I'm going to tune in. I can tune in, or the notification came up because you set your notifications when I go live, or whatever it is. Okay, whatever that glue is, that yoke that brought you here, let's ask the universe, like, as a collective, how can we sustain that inner wisdom? Okay, how can we sustain that inner wisdom? That's what I want to know. I really want to know that. Oh, and it's saying do another yoga card. Okay. So that's what we're asking the universe this evening, to start this roller coaster ride into the cosmos. Because why not? I will go to the universe more than not. I tell you, there's way less resistance in the universe. Okay, which can help guide us and be sort of a cushion for the resistance that we feel in this human experience. There we go. Okay, wow, another reverse card. Dharana, part of the 8 limbs. Dharana, upside down. So to see this, the bouquet, the flourishing bouquet, and the mudras, I love it. So there's the card that is going to guide us into how we can sustain this inner wisdom. Cool. I like it. All right. Let me read you another story. Can I read you another story, please? Yes, the 8 stages of yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga, which I go in depth of not only to teach you in GUNA Yoga School, which is the 200-hour registered yoga school through Yoga Alliance that I'm hosting. It's a small group. It's only like 6 people. The spring session starts March 26th to June 26th, and it's weekends, except for a few weekends we miss. And then I'm going to be hosting a summer and fall and winter session as well. So I like to keep the numbers small and low. So we have, like, we might even go to Gregoire Lake. I was thinking for a picnic and do some yoga teaching there. I was also thinking about going out to maybe the Snai or down to Mac Island or going into the backyard and maybe having some teacher training yoga around the fire pit with some coffee in the morning. Wouldn't that be great? So having that smaller, more intimate closeness with one another, I feel can really involve each one individually as well as collectively. Beautiful. Welcome everyone who's also joined. Wave, wave, wave. Woo! Okay, so the card that came through was for the question. Okay, and Jessica, you were just with me not too long ago. I'm just going to do a sidetrack here and talk to Jessica. The card that was pulled for the collective was Buddha, yet I read a reversed upside down booty, not Buddha. And the first card that was pulled after being shuffled this evening was the reversed booty. So I'm telling you, the shit's so real. It's like it's all over the place. Okay, like expand and bring it in. Bring it in. Okay, Dharana. So Dharana is going to help us understand how we can sustain this level of inner wisdom that we attain through Buddhi. Okay. You've recently been burying your head under the sand. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? I was just talking about the kleshas and how it's like an ostrich with the head in the sand. So very cool. Satnam, I love you, universe. Can everyone do a Satnam to the universe? 1, 2, 3. Satnam. 1, 2, 3. Satnam. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Satnam. Thank you. The universe actually loves that. You know, it's not as serious as we all think it is. It's actually quite a party place. Okay, you've recently been burying your head under the sand, focused totally on your work. While there is profound insight to be gained from immersion, you also must remember to look around you at what else that life has to offer you. So, what are you missing? And isn't that interesting? Because at the beginning of this live, I mentioned that the energies that we're first taught may no longer serve us. Maybe the teaching has run its course and now is like a snake skin. It's like snake skin, and we have to like somehow, shed that skin to create this new journey into the higher self, because our frequencies are constantly changing. They can change from minute to minute, breath to breath, lifetime to lifetime. Okay. So pay attention to it. And with loving curiosity, can you ask yourself, what is not being attended to in the garden? What is not being attended to in the soul garden because of the immersion of the work? Okay. So we do the work, we learn, whether we work at our jobs or we work at ourselves or we work through anything. Okay. There's a point in time when there's got to be a sense of embodiment, because we're human feelings. We're human feelings, we're human beings, and we're not only human doings. So that's where that surrender, that's where that surrender, that receive comes in. And truly, you're the only one who can do that. No one can do that for you. And that's why willingness is so important. Without the willingness, we don't get it. We don't get it. Okay? Pick up what I'm laying down. Anyone want to comment? Do anyone want to talk to me? Will you be my friend and talk to me? Will you talk universe with me? I love it. I'm going to talk anyways. Oh no, my camera. Hang on a sec. I'm having some camera issues. So the universe is like, Shantal. So I'm going to have to do something here. I don't really know how to fix it. So you're going to have to just give me a sec. This could be called a klesha. So a klesha has shown up, and I'm going to just try and fix the klesha. So the klesha is actually the camera not working on YouTube and Facebook while I'm trying to hold a Facebook Live on Instagram. So the attachment, see, and I don't really even know how to fix it here. Give me a sec. If I was attached to this, I'd be freaking out, but I'm not. Plug it back in or select a different camera. Yeah, how do you think you select a different camera? There we go. Dude. Oh, I bet that's going to work. Nope, it's not working. Yeah, I'm not really jiving the camera, so I'm going to take it off and change this camera. There we go. And it should be coming on. Yeah, it's not coming on. Isn't that interesting? What do you think's going on here? I would prefer oh, there we go. Okay. Thanks for holding in there. So this is the other camera, which is cool. Okay, so see, I worked through a klesha without attachment. There you go. No problem. Okay, let's get back on track. So look around and see what you can do to be able to open up yourself into the inner wisdom of receiving. Period. Okay. Take some time off from work at hand and focus on the true work at large, embodying your fullest human experience. Okay, so how does that work into booty? So if we want to be able to sustain our inner wisdom, if we want to be able to sustain our inner wisdom, then we have to look at our day-to-day activities. Are we staying up later than for absolutely no reason? When really we want this morning practice to happen? At some point, there's got to be a shift. When you create change, there's a shift that happens where you want a different you want a different energy than the energy that you have, but you got to want that energy more than what you already have. So that's sometimes where there's a power struggle, and thank goodness for yin and yang, because that's that masculine feminine back and forth, and you're able to be more aware of that and be more in control when you tap into your inner wisdom. Okay, does that make sense to everyone? Is that cool? Anyone want to say hi? Anyone want to say hi? You want to say hi to me? Okay, so there's more though. Okay, so we found out that when we check in with our inner wisdom, it's going to help us create space into acquiring and sustaining the frequencies that we are meant to be in right now. Okay. And sometimes there's a gravitational pull, that heavier earth element, the tamasic element, which is earth element, muladhara, the root chakra element. What's the other one? Kapha, which is that the dosha, the doshic, like it pulls us down, and it's almost like we're trying to climb up, and we know we have that feeling that something is there, yet it's just really hard for us to get there. Okay, so that's cool. That's a beautiful opportunity to dive into it and see, is the universe continually going, giving you a push knock to change something, and what is that change, and how can you see that lovingly and curiously? Well, with willingness, number one. Always goes back to willingness. Okay, let's go into the mystical shaman oracle. So there's a path change here. We're on a journey, and the path leads us to the left right now. So that's the yin, left side body, right side brain, dark, cool moon. Okay, so it's calling in the moon, and the moon is starting to get fuller. And actually, for those of you who live in Fort McMurray, I am going to be offering, it's called a peace pit. So it is a cacao ceremony in my backyard at the fire pit. So if you go to sheachievesstudio.com, then you can go under ceremony and check out the times. It's actually going to be in the morning. I'm going to be having a couple of morning fire pit ceremonies in the backyard. And on spring equinox, I'm also having a fire pit ceremony. I like to call them a peace pit because I feel that there's nothing more beautiful than kindred souls wrapped around the fire pit in the backyard, creating sacred space to bring in peace. And we know when we have that peace within us, we can share that peace around us. And, I think we all can agree that the world could really use that peace within each one of us individually and collectively. And that's what I'm here for. The universe keeps knocking on my brain. I'm kind of pissed. I'm struggling figuring out the message or lesson I'm supposed to be looking for. What a beautiful opportunity to become into a deeper, expansive awareness of your inner wisdom, Kristen. It's if I can elaborate on that, okay, from what I know of the universe, it only gives you what you can handle. Okay. And when we feel that we're unable to handle it, or just like you mentioned, that you're trying to figure it out. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. Okay. Hang out with me for a minute. Okay. Take a deep breath. Okay. Think of a beach ball. Think of a beach ball, whatever color you want, and you're pushing that beach ball down into the water. And that beach ball, it's being resistant, right? It's like you're pushing on this freaking thing, and it's like it's popping up. It's popping up. So there's irritation, there's frustration. I'm kind of pissed because this ball ain't going down. Okay. And then you recognize that maybe it's the direction that the ball is being pushed. Maybe that's not the direction to go. So, is this not an opportunity for you to be curious at what direction can you shift? Can you go to the left? Is this an invitation to become a little bit more of yin focused versus yang, the outcome focused? And come back a little bit and create space between that struggle and where you are. Maybe give it some breathing room. Can you invite some breathing room into that space? Okay? That's really cool. And if you want to take that a step further, like, connect with me, DM me tonight. Like, this is what I do. This is why I'm here. Okay? And I can no longer hide it from the world. Apparently, the universe is saying you can't hide it anymore, girl. So, I wonder if that makes sense to you, Kristen, about that. See what other direction. Yeah. Yes, Kristen. Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely. So then book it. Then book it, woman. Book it. Contact me, DM me. Okay, cool. So this is the path, okay, for us as a collective. So it's the curse. This is the wisdom of the mystical shaman, the curse. And we see the sun and the moon. We see a shaman type lady. She looks like a goddess. Um, and there's tribal markings around as well. So let's see what the curse is telling us about the movement. Okay, so I'm going to read you two mini stories. The first one is the invitation to the entire essence, as I call it, the essence of the card. And then the second one is actually the invitation, the teaching. Okay. It does make 100% sense. Yes, I'm just fearful. Okay. Well, thank you for honoring that feeling. Okay. And that fear is part of that human experience. And sometimes fear leads us into a path of courage. Okay. Because of that yin and yang mix. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Kristen. And again, being curious with that and knowing that with emotions and feelings, we do have that water element accessible, which is the ebb and flow, which is it brings us into a space of being able to move through those emotions and move through those fears, let's say. Okay. If if things keep popping up, they're popping up for a reason. So how can we find self-compassion yet have space between the experience of feeling that emotion or having that experience and our true self? It's about creating that space. Okay, so come on in, girl. Come on in, we got some sacred space to share. Okay, the curse refers to the limiting stories of our ancestors and the karma from former lifetimes that parodians the events of our lives. It is the source of negative patterns, and it can show up as a dis-ease or disease, a destructive force, or a blockage on our creative energy. Okay, so that is heading into, that's asking us to be a little bit more aware of that water element. And this goes back to the very beginning of the live. Little energy purge there. Whew. Okay. Hang on a sec. I just got to let that move through. Okay. If it keeps showing up, quit it, quit it, quit it, quit it, quit it, quit it. Okay. It's not going to go away. It doesn't go away. We can try to put our head in the sand and try not to look at it because maybe we're not ready. Satnam, peace out, honor where you're at, brothers and sisters. Okay. However, if there's an awareness, if there's a willingness to become aware, then we can start to be creative in how do we meander through this? How do we work through this? Okay. So any of these energies can be blocked from past karmic patterns. And that's why we have the Akashic records. The curse holds us hostage to a false story that we confuse for reality. Okay, so this is what I talked about last night, or maybe I talked about it this morning, because I'm doing Facebook Lives in the morning as well after Sweat and Serenity. I have a 3-month online kettlebell yoga series, which is like 30 minutes, Monday to Friday for 3 months. Okay. And that's on the website, shiachiefstudio.com, if that interests you, if you want to start your morning kind of with a bit of yin and yang within 30 minutes. But after the Sweat and Serenity, I'm starting to do Facebook Lives again in a yoga pose. So I just go in a yoga pose and I do a card pull. Why not? Like, seriously, why not? So let me use that as an example. If there's a curse that holds us hostage to a false story, for example, me thinking, I can't be in a yoga pose and do a card pull. That I can't do that. Well, yeah, knock, knock, knock. Hello, I can do that. And I'm doing it. And it's offering, I think, people a chance to not only dive into the inner essence of the universe, but also to get maybe motivated for some yoga, to receive some yoga. So the curse, whatever self-limiting belief keeps showing up that the universe is calling us on, the beach ball constantly every summer trying to push that beach ball under the water, and recognizing that it's not reality. It's not our true destiny. It's not our true dharma. Okay? And that's why we want to create a bridge, because when we create a bridge, we're able to create some breathing room. I mean, what does a bridge do? It takes us farther away or it brings us closer. Okay. So when we have these emotions and experiences, if we attach ourselves to them right away, there's no breathing room. And guess what? Things get congested, they get constipated, they get suffocated. It's no fun. It don't feel good. It don't feel good on any layer of the body. So let's learn how to create space between the experience, the emotions, and our true dharma. Okay? Pick me, pick me. I can help you with that. Okay, recognizing the original wound that is playing out in our life can heal it. Okay, and that's what Ayurveda, that's why I love Thai yoga massage and yoga so much, is because, especially with Thai yoga massage, we go to the root. The Akashic records, the shamanic journeying as well, we go to the root. And sometimes we get really used to putting band-aids on the wound because for whatever reason, we're not ready to work through them. Okay, again, peace out, have self-compassion where you're at. And then one day something happens and you are willing. There's a higher frequency that enters the womb of your life and sort of rattles you a little bit and disengages that thought process that, no, I can't do this. I can't work through this. And then you start seeking support. And then from that support, there's knowledge. And then there's wisdom. And then there's healing. So in Thai yoga, massage, and Ayurveda, we go to the root. We go to the root. So if someone comes in and says, I have a sore shoulder, well, I may not necessarily go to the shoulder right away. I might start at their feet. Okay, because we're all connected. And the mind can play tricks on us that it is, that it can tell us, the mind can tell us whatever it wants. And yet we only know what we learn. We only know what we know. We only know what we learn. So why not learn at a higher frequency? If you felt that you've already, like you've been here, you've done this so many friggin' times, okay, well then maybe it's time to turn the dial and tune into a higher frequency. Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, you pick up what I'm laying down? Pick up what I'm laying down? Yes, I love it. Okay, so those are the cards. I feel like there's one more, but it's kind of nice to have an intention. Okay, so that's Wednesday. So let's go into, the moon. That's okay. So that finished off that part. So let's go back to the moon and let's ask about the moon. Let's do one more card because the moon is becoming full. And yeah, I'm going to have a full moon peace pit in the backyard. So it's on the 18th of February. No, of February. I totally zoned out there. Of March. So the next full moon, I think I'm going to have a fire at like 9:30. I think it is in the morning. It says on the website 9:30 to 11:30. It's a 2-hour cacao ceremony in the morning because ceremony cacao I find is really beneficial in the morning to open up the heart for the rest of the day. That's another reason why a morning devotional practice is so important, because when we leave our devotional practice to the end of the day, guess what? The shopping cart of your day is already full. And now you're having to find this devotional practice when you're already full of all these other energies coming in. Something to think about, something to think about. Go to bed earlier. Go to bed. All right, last card. Nope, it is the yoga cards. Whew. Okay, so what? Oh my gosh, I don't even get a chance to shuffle, and the cards come out. Ooh. Okay, so this has to do with this is a deity, so a goddess, and it is Lalita Tripura Sundari. Beautiful. Goddess in the house. We got us a goddess in the house. All right. Beautiful. Some geometric patterns. Is that Ganesh? Oh, that looks like Ganesha down there too. Okay, cool. All right, so let's see how this deity is going to guide us into the full moon. Ooh, I'm really excited. Goddess of erotic spirituality. Ah, yes. Okay, so full moon. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. So, with the moon is like the yin energy, okay? The sun is the yang energy. So, with this erotic spirituality, I want to just say something. When I was 20 years old, um, in Saskatoon, I waitressed at this restaurant called the Broadway Cafe. I totally rocked it. Like, I totally love waitressing. And I used to read erotic poetry when I was 20. And I'm trying to find all of those poems and I can't seem to locate them. So I just thought I'd bring this in because eroticism is I just find it amazing. It's powerful and it can be spiritual. So it's almost like having sovereign sexuality. Okay, so with the full moon coming up, the full moon, let's say, is the goddess, and she's becoming fuller and fuller and fuller, and then eventually is just going to sort of I explode, I guess, like an orgasm. Okay, whether it's an emotional, physical, mental, spiritual, whichever one. Okay, so that's why she's showing up right now. Um, so move toward that which makes you feel sensual, awake, and alive. And in yoga, we call this ojas. Ojas, OJAS. Ojas is our vitality and our vigor. Okay. So move toward that which makes you feel sensual, awake, and alive. In our society, we've been taught to repress our divine feminine. Shakti in the house, um, to be taken seriously. Okay. So this can actually, hello, if you're paying attention, goes back to the curse. The curse of, if I am erotic or sensual, that I am not going to be taken seriously. Beautiful. However, by doing so, we are only operating as half of a whole. So when we come out of a sense of integrity, when we have integrity within ourselves, like this is okay, hang on a sec. The universe is like, woo, hang on a sec. Slow down, please, just a little bit. I want to be able to get, oh, see, I'm like, ah, it's coming down so fast. I've got all of these like clouds and thoughts coming in. So I'm going to close my eyes and talk for a moment. Okay. So if we have the curse, and it could be from past generations, that we are not taken seriously if we have this eroticism or sensuality or divine femininity, okay, about us. Whether you're masculine or feminine, okay, like it doesn't really matter there, okay, because we have masculine and feminine in either of the sexes, okay, and that's yin and yang. Okay. um that was interesting. I tried reading the book with my eyes closed. Yeah, that's good. Okay, keep your eyes open, girl. So, however, by doing so, we are only operating as half of a whole. So, let's go back to that integrity. So, part of the integrity is not being of a higher value of frequency in this lifetime. We're not meant to stay the same, okay? Because everything is energy, and you can take this scientifically, okay? Energy is always in motion. Energy is not to be stagnant, okay? And because we are energy, and the three universal energies is what I teach in the yoga teacher training, the three gunas, okay? And we have sattva, rajas, and tamas, and these three attributes of all universe, they're always in motion, okay? Balance has to balance to stay in that balance, so there's movement there. Balance doesn't mean that we surrender and we go limp. It's actually quite active. Then we have rajas, and rajas is fire element, and that is obviously a lot of movement and motion. And then we also have um tamas, which is earth element, which is still movement, it's just at a slower, heavier energy. Okay. So see where the energy is to be able to operate more than half of a whole. Okay. Lalita has come to remind you of your inner tantrika energy, that which oozes with erotic Shakti life force. Kundalini in the house. Get that energy rising. I offer private Kundalini sessions and they are so powerful. Okay. They're super powerful. Okay. It's time to merge your spiritual self with your sexual self as the two are intrinsically related. Enjoy all things with sensuality, food. So eat the juicy fruit, conversation, speak through the passion of what you love. Surround yourself with people, places and things that bring you this ojas, that bring you that sweetness of life. Change things that again are at that heavier frequency that maybe you've learned the lesson from. Okay, and maybe you do, maybe you don't, maybe you're ready, maybe you're not. I don't know, you're the only one who can decide that, but the invitation is there and it's always accessible. It's just if we're willing to access it. Okay. Self-care, movement, and movement doesn't have to be, a hard kick-ass workout. It can be a 30-minute movement flow at home, watching a video. It can be dancing, turning up to Blinded by the Light with Manfred Mann. Woo! Yeah, but mama, that's where the fun is, quote unquote. Love that song. Love it. Okay, so follow what feels good, not what makes sense to a patriarchal system. Bring in all aspects of yourself to the table and watch your life blossom. So follow what feels good. Okay. Now keep this in context of yoga and spirituality. If sleeping in feels good, and life is flowing in a sattvic state where there's harmony and there's the garden, your inner soul garden is growing and flourishing, then like have at it, right? Or if you feel that you're like, yeah, you're like doing this, and it just gets like you're trying to push the ball down and it's just like not working and you're feeling tired and exhausted and irritated, that rajasic or tamasic guna, then balance it out. Then take um take inventory, look around. How do we do that? Well, we go back to create a bridge between you and the experience that you're having. So you step back a bit and you bring in a big old question mark. You start to become curious. Is this where I want to be? What is this? And you play flip-flop back and forth. Okay. Whew. That was a lot. That was a lot. Beautiful. I love that everyone showed up tonight. How does that sound? Any comments? Would anyone like to comment before I think I go? Because I go to bed early so I can wake up at 5 for my Kundalini practice, devotional practice, for Sweat and Serenity, which I've been doing both of those for 9 months pretty much. I've been on a quest, and I actually had to take inventory and gather some data curiously about the decisions I was making in my life and how I managed my time and where I managed my time. If I was managing the time being fearful, like Kristen, I get it. I get how it can be fearful. Like I was there, and fear is part of that human experience. So let's learn how to be in relationship to it in a loving manner. Vam, beautiful. Vam, I love it. Vam, yes. Sat down to Vam. Agnes, thank you, my love. Oh, I love it. It was good. Thanks for sharing. Thank you so, so, so much. Lee, thank you. Agnes. So before I go, Agnes just got me pumped up. So we have seed sounds. They're called bija sounds of the chakras. And the chakras hold different frequencies, right? As everything in life does. So the heavier energies have a heavier frequency. And VUM is the seed sound for sacral chakra. And sacral chakra is translates into one's own sweetness, one's own abode. So as I close this space down, and thank you everyone for sharing and watching, share the love, sheachievesstudio.com, share this video, just share it. Some people will get it, some people won't. Think about GUNA Yoga School. It's weekends. Take the weekends off from the March to June and come learn yoga. Maybe not to teach yoga to others, but to teach a teacher caliber style of training. You will learn so much. And because there's only 6 lovelies that can be registered at one time, we have mobility to move around Fort McMurray and to gather more data. Maybe we'll take some training in the forest. Maybe we'll go for a hike. Maybe we'll go to the keg and go have supper and do a teacher training there. I don't know. So check it out. It's all on sheachievesstudio.com. You have a choice of wisdom, journey, or ceremony with me. Okay. Think about a peace pit, the cacao fire pit. I'm offering lots of community connection. Please, I'm one person with a really big soul, and I'm asking help to share this spiritual love and soul care into our community because I'm one person and I'm trying and I would love some help. So I'm asking for help. Share sheachievesstudio.com. Write a review on Facebook because it automatically goes to the website. So share the love, share the love. Okay. If you have a piece of fruit and you leave it in the cupboard to ripen and you forget about it, the fruit no longer tastes sweet. If you eat the fruit before it's ripe, it may give you a stomachache. So when we are conscious and aware, and we come from an integral part within ourselves where we encompass the whole, we have space between the fruit that is rotten and the fruit that is not ripe enough. And we know where the middle is so we can eat the fruit at its sweetest. Thank you. This was powerful. This was so powerful. Truly blessed. Follow the Dharma. Follow the Dharma, kids. If you're up and about tomorrow at just after about 7:30 a.m., I'm going to go live again in a yoga pose and do some more card pulls because apparently I don't know, it's just the way it is. I'm just following the vibe, going above the mind, following the frequency of the universe. Check out sheachievesstudio.com. DM me. I can talk about this all day with everyone. Just ask my family. If you have any questions, if you need to reach out, please remember you're not alone. The universe is inside of you and around you, and I am here to help support you on the spiritual level. And from my space to yours, let's close down the sacred space. And we thank all of the guardians of the galaxies. We thank the the yoga teaching, the shamans, the akashics, the reikis, the thais, the kundalini lineage, the yogis and the gurus and their gurus, the yoginis, the ancient elders, the um, the angels, the archangels, the sacred spirit animals, just all encompassed. Thank you so much for sharing and holding space. Like, thank you, universe. Like, I freaking love you so much. Thank you for holding this space, like, unequivocally amazing. Love it. And the work here is done. The work here is done. The work here is done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Peace out. I love you all. Any comments, let me know. And enjoy the night. And I hope to see you in GUNA Yoga School Teacher Training and the full moon peace pit cacao ceremony in the backyard around the fire. Peace out. Satnam. I love you all. And I'm going to end this right now. Bye. It's going to happen. It might take a little bit because I got like buttons and cameras everywhere. So I'm going to try and do this again. There we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Satnam.